Well, let the church say amen. Good morning, everybody. This is DJ's Raw Uncut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need, representing that new media, Nation United. This is a family and a movement, joined by Rev, aka Revolution Radio. How you doing today, my brother?
Doing great. Doing great.
Good. So today's topic is Vernon Carey. He exposes the coaching staff. Before we have Shines coming up in here capping for Coach James Borrego, let's put the disclaimer out there. And shout out to the subs who are repping new media. Antonio in the building. Travis in the building. Tal in the building. Everybody in the building today. Travis with the ZO2 to the Celtics. We got Drum Keys up in here. He says, Nation United. We got Thunder in the house. He said, the beat sounds fire. Yes, indeed. New media in the house. So Vernon Carey the other day, February 12th, 2 days ago, in his second game, had 32 points, 14 for 28 shooting, 37 minutes. In the past two games, Vernon Carey has been averaging, I don't care if it's the G League or not, he's been averaging 25.5 points per game, 12.0 rebounds per game, and has his team 1-1. When I watch Vernon Carey, I see a big man with good hands. He's lost a lot of weight since his Duke days. He's very nimble for his size. He can shoot the mid-range. He can rebound. And I know a lot of folks were telling me, well, his defense is not at that level yet. Well, neither is Cody, Zeller, and sometimes Bismack. Bismack tries. I give him that. But he's not an elite defender as well. The coaching staff is exposed. They were trying to be like the Spurs, sending all the young players into the G League, not having them grow their game with Lamelo Ball, who is the franchise. I repeat, the franchise player on the Hornets. Instead of doing that, they got them wasting their time in the G League. And not only Vernon Carey, but plenty other players as well. We've talked about James Borrego and his nepotism, bad coaching, bad rotations. But it's really noticeable. It's become embarrassment. The announcers are saying, why are some of these players in the G League? Vernon Carey has done so well in the G League that it's pretty much boring to him. He's not getting a challenge at all. And don't let me get started with Jalen McDaniel, another player who should be getting playing time. A player who is better than the Twins and most of the people on the roster. And when he was actually playing, did you know that Jalen McDaniels averaged 10 points per game? He was a good fit with LaMelo. He was able to run. He was able to play with off the ball. So, Rev, watching Vernon Carey play and seeing how well he's been doing, what you think on his game and how the coaches really dropped the ball and not playing them enough in actual NBA games?
Peace to the chat. Peace to the stream. Hashtag new media. Nation United. Media. Nation United. Shout out to the president as always. DJ's Raw Uncut Truth. I got to give it up when it's time. Shout out to Big Body Gaming who said I'm here on time like it's the first day of school. Y'all didn't know y'all was getting one from DJ and I this morning, did you? Well, we got some ether, man. We got some ether. We got a little pre-cookout for the cookout tonight. Transcended, man. Vernon Carey, everything y'all think James Wiseman is, I see it in Vernon Carey. And the reason why I see it in Vernon Carey, before, somebody runs and tells that and tells me what a scout said, the reason why I see it in Vernon Carey is because he's more nimble of foot in the open floor. He's more nimble of foot on the perimeter. James Wiseman is heavy-footed. But Vernon Carey, from what I've been seeing in the G League, it was a move I was telling DJ about in the second game of his G League career, unfortunately, where this man went between his legs, crossed over, stepped back, and hit a long two-pointer. Nothing but panties and draws. It didn't touch the rim. Now, when I see things like this, I have to start thinking, why isn't this kid on the court? And the only thing that comes to mind is that bad organizations do bad things. The reason why Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are who they are today, because they were allowed to play as youngins and develop together. So they have learned through the hardships how to win together. They have learned how to win and develop together. Since night one, DJ and I have been talking about developing the culture of the youngins on the squad so you can see what you have. The sad thing about this, I saw somebody say they don't need to trade for a center because they already got one in Vernon Carey. They're going to put themselves behind the 8 ball if they want to be contenders and end up paying a center money anyway, because at the end of the day, I'm about to say something that's so cold-blooded, but it's the truth. We don't know what the hell Vernon Carey can do until he's on an actual NBA court. We should have saw that 20 games ago. So if you're an organization, you might have all these high hopes, but you're sitting in a 6 seed right now. You got a legitimate run with another superstar player. No, I'm sorry, with another star player at an opportunity at a serious seed in the East. So we can't like we do a lot of, I see in our community, we do a lot of things like, and it's okay to have faith, but pragmatism has its place. Oh, well, they should, based on what we're seeing in the G League, they shouldn't trade for a center. You can't say that because you haven't had an opportunity to see this kid play. Now, that's not our fault. That's the organization's fault. But bad organizations do bad things. DJ, inside, outside, reverse move, counter move, left hand, right hand, running up and down the court.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you want to see, the kid's got it, brother.
He's got all the moves, man. And he's 19 years old. He's very young. The Hornets organization are so foolish that they could have actually saved money and played Vernon Carey and gave him experience. What I say, if you're not going to play Vernon Carey 20 plus minutes in the NBA game, at least play him 15 minutes. Now they're forced into a position to try to spend more money to get a center, because even if you bring Vernon Carey back, he's going to be behind the 8 ball, like Rev said. This is what bad organizations do. They don't know how to see the future. They don't know how to plan ahead because they got this old school approach and they're treated like the 90s. But reality is, this is a new day. You have to play your young guys more. Have to. I'm going to be very honest, and I'm not exaggerating. There were a couple of games where if they could have used any big man with good hands, they could have got more wins. I'm dead serious. If you look at the film, And you look at the teams when they play big teams, and they in a big man, they don't have to be an elite defender. They just needed somebody that could clog up space. Something that Zeller couldn't do, and Bismack Biyombo is undersized for a center. They were ill prepared. But I always like Vernon Carey's game. When I saw him lose that weight, brother, and I saw him like focus on his fitness and his moves, I knew this kid got it. And shout out to Zach Smith. He says, love what y'all doing with the channel, New Media. Yeah, New Media is a family, my brother. And make sure you guys hit the like button to get the algorithm up. Also, become a member of New Media. On the subscription box, there's a join button. Push that. And if we get 100 members, we will do our unfiltered content for members only. And trust me, it'll be more real than the shows we've been doing live streams at night. Paige Caston, as Red would say, said, welcome to the family. Yes, ma'am. This is a family. Man, y'all going ham on the comments, man. Taufik says they're so foolish that they gave up 5 rings they could have won in LA. Paige says rookies are better than their starters. Red, what you think about that?
Facts.
Oh man.
Can I ask you something, DJ?
Yeah.
I sound like Uncle Vern. Hey, DJ. Hey, DJ. Look at him. hey, shout out to Unc, man. But all right, I gotta ask you this, man. It seems like they're higher on Nick Richardson than Vernon Carey. Am I tripping?
That's what it seems like. But for those who actually understand the game of basketball, Nick Richards is solid. It's just that Vernon Carey has more upside and more moves. If LaMelo gives the ball to Carey, you know he's going to do something. And Vernon Carey has shown the ability to pass out the double team. There's so many players within the Hornets organization that have tunnel vision that will lead to ball hogging like plays. You won't see that with Carey. Carey got the IQ to know that if I'm double teamed and they're taking my right and I have somebody open on my left, pass it to the point guard to reestablish the offense. Pure basketball IQ. And shout out to Ant James. He said, when they drafted Carey and Nick Richards, I thought one would be starting and the other would come off the bench. Those two would be an upgrade compared to Zeller and Biz. Biz should have become a center coach. Now, Ant James is a Charlotte Hornet fan. So if he's saying this and other Charlotte Hornet fans are saying this, then what we're saying has merit because they see what we see.
Biz is showing me a lot, brother.
Let me see.
I can't.
Yeah, he plays hard, man.
He plays hard, man. Like he should be getting spot minutes. I think he should be getting energy minutes. But I do agree with both of y'all, brothers. Right now, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be real, DJ. I can see a justification of Nick Richardson just being a reserve on the bench. But Vernon Carey, no chance in hell. All I can say is, you know what I'm saying? All I can say is, and shout out to my brother Raphael. I'm sorry. I'm pausing because my brother's hitting me up on Twitter right now. But all I can say is they're appeasing too many trash guys. That's what bad organizations do. We're worried about Devonte's feelings. We're worrying about Cody Zeller's feelings. We're worrying about Gordon Hayward feelings. Y'all ain't won nothing. I almost like went super in. Y'all haven't won anything. Why the hell are y'all appeasing average players? DJ, go ahead, brother.
The saddest thing, bro. The saddest thing. This is one of the few organizations that treat their role players like they're stars. And here's the kicker. Now, I didn't want to bring up tay-bay, But Devonte Graham today came out and said, "I'm willing to come off the starting lineup and play on the bench." He says he's willing to do that. Now, is James Borrego going to actually listen to that? Because he loves Devonte Graham, and he sees him better than what everybody else sees Devonte. I'm telling you, that pressure, didn't I tell you it was going to come? Didn't I tell you it was going to come? And Taufik, he did say that. Devonte Graham did say that. Did you see that, Rev, about Devonte?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so it's not cap what I'm saying. Yes, Devonte asked to come off the bench.
Devonte knows, man. I was telling Coach the other night, if you've ever played basketball on any kind of college level, there's a moment when you realize the guys from just people on the team. You know what I'm saying? There's a moment where you realize, okay, this guy is better. And I think Devonte is a team player. I really do. I know he looks off Lamelo and things like that, but really, everybody short of Miles Bridges on that team looks off Lamelo. Let's just keep it real. Yeah, man, Devonte, I think he's a team player. Like Coach Joe said, DJ. Really, Coach Borrego has made this the way it is now. And it's going to be the same thing with Vernon Carey and somebody else pretty soon. He's going to have to break somebody's heart. And like DJ keeps trying to warn everyone, be careful with Miles Bridges, man. Don't fall in love with that connection too quick. Unless they're bringing so many endorsement dollars, either PJ Washington, Gordon Hayward, or Miles Bridges, somebody got to go. This organization, when it comes to managing players and managing expectations, is a it show.
Exactly, my brother. And for those who are saying, is this real? Rick Bonnell, who is the man of the media, even Raphael has said it, confirmed it. He said, quote, and this is Rick Bonnell, last name Bonnell. On Twitter, he said, Devonte says, quote, Hornets coach asked him to play off the bench, he'd be fine. If the Hornets coach asked him to play off the bench, he'll be fine with that. This is what Devonte said. And I knew this was going to happen. Now, we're going to see if Coach James Borrego will acquiesce to Devonte's demands. I think Devonte is coming to grips to reality that, hey, I could make some good money coming off the bench. I could save energy. I don't have to get hurt too much playing abundance of minutes. And I think that he meaning Devonte Graham, came to grips to reality. Once he had that groin injury, in my opinion, because he played so many minutes, I think he knew that maybe him coming off the bench was the best idea for him. What do you think, Brother Rev?
Yeah, I agree with that, brother. I agree with that. You're going to tear the man's body up. He was out there. I don't think he looked healthy the other night, DJ. I didn't really see him. And yeah, you played football, I think. I'm pretty sure you told me you played football. So you understand when a player's ready, when he's healthy, he can open up his gate.
Right.
He can really break out. I didn't see Devonte one time the other night just break out into a sprint. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't think he's healthy. I think he gutted it out for the team. I think the coach has made him a villain. He's made him a hashtag. And somebody eventually is going to come out with a shirt that says, tay-bay. Like, that's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's other channels have stole the lingo of new media. Y'all heard that here first. Another trend-setting moment on this channel. But it's to the point now you go on Twitter and you see people talking about tay-bay. You see people on YouTube talking about tay-bay. The coach has done this to this man. Because like Coach Joe so eloquently stated the other night, you put these guys in these situations that they're not built for. I see them doing the same thing with Anthony Edwards. They're giving this kid the expectations that he's Lamelo Ball. He is not Lamelo Ball. He's his own player. He's got his own style. With Vernon Carey Jr., they tried to play us once again like the people that watch basketball don't know what we're talking about at all. They tried to lie to us and tell us at first that Cody Zeller was giving him work in practice. Then it came out of this first G League game that Vernon Carey was destroying Cody Zeller. This is the kind of games the Charlotte Hornet organization plays. And brother Ant Jams, my brother from Charlotte, respect and love to you, brother. With that being said, we were having a debate the other night. This is why your organization is the way it is. You got guys like Vernon Carey and Jalen McDaniels in the G League. You're undersized all across the floor, but you got two guys that are oversized at their position or adequate size at their position, but because you're wiping Cody Zeller's nose and kissing all these on other team players that will be 9th and 10th guys off the bench. I see the new thing is Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier is a hell of a player. He's a dog. But Terry Rozier on a winning organization has a certain role. That's why Boston didn't re-sign him. Because they understood we can't dedicate $170 million plus to a guy that is 6'1", is always going to be a bit of a mismatch on defense and is streaky on offense. Winning organizations make winning decisions. And I'm not even a fan of Danny Ainge, but I agree with him on that decision. So y'all stop trying to, the detractors, just to take away LaMelo, to take away from what he's doing or what he can do, or to slow his progression down. Stop telling us we don't know what we're talking about. Could you imagine LaMelo and Vernon Carey in a pick and roll every night, DJ?
Man, that would be so dope to see. LaMelo, Vernon Carey, the pick and roll. And let me reiterate, Vernon Carey would not drop his passes. I mean, the brother has strong hands. I mean, strong hands. Let me answer this real quick because this stood out. Randy Booker, shout out to you, Randy Booker. You said that Vernon Carey stuff sound good, but who will be able to guard? Well, besides Biz is somewhat of a solid defender. He tries. Zeller's not a good defender.
At all.
So Zeller's not a good defender. And I could get a young player who's learning how to play defense, but has more offensive moves. And I think that's cap when they was putting those fake reports talking about Vernon Carey ain't playing because he's getting outdid by Zeller. That's not true. I have yet to believe that. They only did that. They only put that in the media so they could silence the fan base. Remember, he played at Duke. A lot of Duke fans are Charlotte Hornet fans.
Facts.
And they didn't want the backlash of why he's not playing them. This is when I tell you, and not just me, but Coach Rev and many others say a game within the game. That's what it means. It's a game within a game. There's always politics, and shicey stuff just to fool a fan base. They will never convince me that Cody Zeller, in the wise words of Coach Joe Lurch, who is clumsy, can't catch passes, can't catch lobs, would outdo a brother like Vernon Carey. Now we know Vernon Carey is raw and he's still growing his game. But I'd rather grow with two future players of this team, LaMelo and him, which is Carey, than play a bunch of players who are role players. Zeller is a role player. Devonte Graham is a role player. You see what I mean?
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Douglas Anderson. Shout out to Ant James. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with us. Shout out to our brother Raphael. He said he got some heat coming for us really soon, DJ. He said stay tuned. He has some heat coming for us, so y'all be prepared. He's got some exclusive information coming for us. So once again, new media making big moves. So shout out to our brother Raphael. DJ, you
Yes,
were
brother.
Cody Zeller, brother. Every time I see Cody Zeller, I think of that sound effect from the Goofy movies. Like he's a walking dude is a walking mistake. And he plays hard. And I've noticed he likes playing with Melo. Zeller does like playing with Melo. He plays hard, man. He plays hard. But sometimes it's just time. It's just time for Cody Zeller. If he's going to go to another team, he's just going to have to be a 10-minute-a-night role player. He's nothing more. Bro, for the person that was talking about that Vernon Carey stuff sounds good, but what about defense? Who we going to stop? Did you not see Cody Zeller make Valanciunas look like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Right.
The real reason why they lost that Memphis game, yes, they gave up a lot of threes. But once Melo got back in the game in the second quarter and they started pushing the lead back up, they ran play after play for Valanciunas, who scored every time Cody Zeller. Look, I said Valanciunas. I didn't say Cat. I didn't say Anthony Davis. I didn't say Nikolai Jokovic. I didn't say any of that. I said Valanciunas, the guy that played in Lithuania, the league that supposedly is no good because Melo and LiAngelo played there. That guy, Cody Zeller, made him look like an all-star. He built his confidence to the point where Valanciunas, when he played the Lakers the other night, was on such a hot streak after destroying Cody Zeller that he had a good 19 against the Lakers. So no, let's look. I don't know if you know this, but this is new media. So when you try to slide in here with old media talking points, like we're just gonna believe you because you said it. No, we actually watched the game. Cody Zeller can't even move side to side anymore. It looks like he's stuck in molasses. So get that guy out of here. And look, you're already trading buckets anyway. Gordon Hayward can't stop nobody. Let's keep it real. Terry Rozier tries, but he's kind of like Patrick Beverly. I see him play that full court defense. He gets up under the person. As soon as they get past half court, they're blowing by him and laying the ball up. So come on, man. Come on. Charlotte plays hard. They're pesky, but ain't nobody right now on that team. Who is the one lockdown defender on Charlotte? The person that you say, I need a stop right now, and this guy is going to definitely get me a stop. They don't have one. They do not have one. So let's not sit here and act like defense is the biggest priority in Charlotte. No, the biggest priority in Charlotte right now is building around your exciting offense. If you put Vernon Carey Jr. out there running the floor with Miles Bridges and Lamelo, do you know how many more lobs is going to open up? Because Vernon Carey Jr. lost a lot of weight. I think he lost 40 pounds. So
yeah,
he's
he
getting
lost
up.
40.
He lost 40, right, DJ?
Right.
So he's getting up and down that court. He's getting up and down that court. So that's going to make more space for Miles Bridges and LaMelo because he's not a traditional big that's 375 pounds just clogging up the paint. But once again, you know, bad organizations do bad things.
So true. Bad organizations do bad things. Perfectly said by the brother Rev of New Media. And shout out to Big J. Let's talk. He said a good thing. He said, quote, bro, DJ, we have never seen anything like this. You sit Tay in front of the team, JB attached to Melo's shoulder, but Hayward away from it all. What did I tell you about that?
DJ said it. DJ said it. PR nightmare.
The PR is so lethargic, man. Who does this? Again, who does this shit? Did you see LaMelo's face? He looking at everybody like, what the hell's going on? Like, I understand. He would understand if LeBron came out there and coached the team up because LeBron has the highest IQ in the NBA right now. But a role player? that was having 8 points in that game going to talk about what they need to do? Lamelo had that face, bro. Like, yeah, brother, yeah, yeah. Get the fuck out of here. He had that type of face. And shout out to Zach Smith for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you for helping to grow the nation. He says if Bron can average 25 and 5 his rookie year while having the keys and the green light, I think LaMelo would be doing it if he had the opportunity. No, do you think LaMelo would do it if he had the opportunity? I think everything special we see what Melo is doing watered down. Yeah, if LaMelo did have the green light, he will be breaking more records. That's the crazy part. There were actually people in the comments weeks ago trying to tell us that LaMelo has a high usage rate. That is a lie. If he had a high usage rate, why is he splitting time from having the ball then playing off ball? Where's the answer to that? For those who keep telling us, oh, LaMelo's getting a lot of opportunities. Why are they using a 3-guard lineup and pretty much putting LaMelo in a small forward position so the coach can be happy with his tay-bay starting? See, some of you people who are telling us this are not making any sense. Rev, when you see LaMelo play, and this is what Devonte Graham in the starting lineup, is he fully playing point guard, my brother?
No, he's not. And his numbers are going to take a dip because of that. Because I saw when Devonte came back into the starting lineup the other night, his usage rate was down. Melo spent a lot of time in that second half sitting in the corner. And that's a fact. And I want to quote my guy, Rated the GOAT, from Twitter. Look, man, we were having a conversation the other day, DJ, when we were talking about how historical of a season LaMelo was having. And this was before the game against Anthony Edwards. Well, after that game, the guy from The Athletic, he updated the rankings of the greatest rookie seasons in the history of basketball. The last 20 years. I'm sorry. No, it was longer than the last 20 years because Michael Jordan is on the list. But do you know right now that LaMelo is sitting on top? And he's not sitting on top of that ranking by a couple percentage points. He's far ahead of any rookie in their first 26, 27 games in the league. When you're dealing with a player like this, bro, it's only a matter of time before you start seeing what you're seeing with the rest, even old media. Old media is getting to the point like, what the hell's going on? Old media has gotten to the point because old media doesn't want to die. So they're not going to ignore the obvious. They want the hot story. They want the hot story. Stop playing games. Get this kid, Vernon Carey Jr., on the roster. Get him on the floor. See what he can do against NBA players. I don't want to see him playing no spot minutes, nothing crazy like that. Because, see, the problem with this organization, because the next talking point is this, DJ. Well, by mid-season, we'll start seeing them. No, because we see how Charlotte does. That translates to, okay, you'll see him 2 or 3 minutes a game for the next 20 games. And then you only got 10 games left in the season. Then at the end of the season, they're going to sell you a bill of goods and say, we did the best that we can do. It's a process. You know, we couldn't really win anything this year. Yeah, you can't win because you won't get out of your way. You won't get out of your way. But DJ, I want to slide a question to you real quick. If the Atlanta Hawks came knocking on the door for Devonte Graham, Vernon Carey Jr., and Malik Monk, would you do it for John Collins?
In a heartbeat for John Collins. I mean, John Collins is killing the game right now. I told people don't realize Raphael came on the show. He talked about how toxic the relationship between John Collins and Trey is. It's really bad right now. The question is will the Hornets stop being frugal and cheap and make some real moves? Now, I like Miles Bridges. I like him paired with Lamelo Ball. But if a brother like John Collins, and believe it or not, he's averaging out all-star numbers right now.
Yep.
And if he doesn't make the all-star team, then you know the all-star system is not correct at all. John Collins is that dude. That is the only trade I'll accept if Miles Bridges is on it. Besides that, I want Miles Bridges and LaMelo to develop that long, ongoing chemistry. But before the season, Rev, remember when I talked about the mission of the Hornets should be play the young guys, establish culture, and see how the chips fall. Barely making it to the playoffs and getting kicked out of the first round. Oh, what you said, brother?
Let me give you flowers real quick, and then you go back in.
Thank you, bro.
I'm going to keep it 100, y'all. And I'm not talking about anybody in the chat because I saw some of y'all saying it as well. But as far as YouTubers, I didn't hear nobody really going to bat for Vernon Carey Jr. before games started other than DJ. Like, DJ was really telling us and warning us. He was like, yo, Melo is great. He said Melo is great, but don't sleep on Vernon Carey Jr. I got to give you flowers, brother. You've been said.
Thank you, my brother. And what's my go-to word on Twitter? Film don't lie.
Film don't lie.
When you watch the film, when you truly watch the film, you pick up on the nuances on a certain player's characteristics, what it matches with. And once I saw that Vernon Carey can move for his size and that his hands are like suction cups, they throw him a pass. At Duke, he was catching one-handed alley-oops. Wasn't fumbling the ball. Didn't play like he had broken fingers all around. I was like, that makes sense. And shout out to Spray Ball Island. He said DJ also said Grant Riller was a gem, and he was right about that too. See? I saw Grant Riller play on TV at the College of Charleston. It was a tournament game, right? And when I saw him having all the moves that a point guard needs, a combo guard needs, that's when I knew I said he's going to be a great player. That was the steal of the draft. The reason why Grant Riller is not playing too much in the NBA and he's playing in the G League is because Coach James Borrego is trying to appease everybody that was with him. So he feels indebted to the players that stuck by him, even though they had a mediocre record, brother, last season. Tell me that ain't the dumbest thing you ever seen.
It's insane because them same players, if you get fired, they're going to keep playing without you.
Right.
You better believe it.
And Don Giovanni says Riller is a great replacement for Devonte if we trade him. Excellent replacement because he has high IQ. Grant Riller can score with off the ball and on the ball. So let's say LaMelo needs a breather and the coach needs a point guard to have the offense steady and not make any mistakes. Grant Riller is the perfect backup for it. Plus, he would never take away shots from LaMelo. You seen him play in the G League. He got everybody involved. He shot 40+% from three. So he doesn't take stupid shots like some players on the Hornets. And I know that the Hornets are the 6th seed, but they're playing not playing, but they're trying to organize their team like they're a number 3 or 2 seed. And they're just really at a 6 seed that could go to a 9 seed. If you look at the Eastern Conference standings, it's close. They lose 2 games, they're right back at 9 or 8. So the great teams infuse veterans with young players. Look at the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are now having some of the young guys play like RJ Hampton. And now their depth is getting better. The Denver Nuggets are winning more games. Look at the Hornets. They don't even know how to play young guys for matchup purposes. They don't even know how to play to call up a Vernon Carey, say, hey, man, we're going to activate you on the active roster. We're going to play you more, especially if we play big teams. They don't even do that. So that tells you how poorly run this franchise is.
It's a joke. It's a joke. They can really lose the next 6 games. Like it's possible this thing could go off the rails. They got San Antonio. They got Golden State coming up. They got Murderers Row. They got to play Portland. They got to go on a 6-game West Coast trip. Like this thing can go from sugar to overnight. So those games that everybody was saying, oh, well, they're going to have opportunities early in the season. If they would have stockpiled those wins by just playing the guys that they should have played, if they went on a 6-game losing streak, and when the lost games like OKC, they should have won that game, and other games they could have won. If you lost 6 straight, you still would be in contention. But if you lose 6 straight now, with how tight it is in the East, look at the Cavs. You might not get up from the next punch.
Powerful. The Hornets literally has to go at least 500 to stay afloat. Because if they don't, and they start losing multiple games, which could happen, then they're going to be in desperation mode and panicking. And that's never good. Spray Ball Island says, DJ, what you think about Graham saying he would come off the bench for the betterment of the team? It just shows that he's aware of the situation. And like we said on the other show, I know we joke about tay-bay and all these names and nicknames, but James Borrego is at fault at this. He's the main culprit. He's out there bringing up Devonte's name in every press conference. He's making it so noticeable that the old media is calling him out or just thinking that it's sketchy. They're saying, why in the hell he's bringing up a player that's either not playing or not playing well? They'll ask a question about Lamelo, and for some reason, James Borrego, out of his way, will say, well, Devonte, and this is what he said, by the way. He said, Devonte would have helped us in a couple of games. Really? When you're giving up 120 to powerful offenses? Or what about the Philadelphia 76ers game where Joel Embiid had 34? So Devonte is going to help with that? It makes no sense. But at least it shows that Devonte is aware of the backlash. And I told y'all that was going to happen. Devonte will feel the backlash, not his fault, but for the coach's sins. I want y'all to pay attention to it because the fans, they're smart. And shout out to the person that said Grant Riller reminds them of Fred VanVleet when you watch his highlights. Yeah, but he's a little bit taller. But Grant Riller is 6'3", and he's stronger. That's definitely a backcourt teammate I prefer than a 5'11" guard. I'll tell you that.
Hey, DJ.
What's up, bro?
My brother. I would like to interject, my brother. I would like to read a comment, my brother. Please, humor me, my brother. This is from the guy SP. He says Lamelo Ball is developing well. The ball club has made significant adjustments in the right direction. The team is a family. Continue to make small adjustments, Coach Borrego. I know you sound like somebody I know. SP, just know, I know you sound like somebody I know. I remember somebody that used to come in this chat and tell us the same thing about the development of Lamelo. Talking about Lamelo wasn't ready, he wasn't conditioned. Some of y'all that's been here since night one, y'all might know who we talking about. But you sound very, very familiar, my brother. You sound very, very familiar. And I'm telling you, if you're that person, how wrong is LaMelo proving you? You said he needed training camp. You said he wasn't ready. You said he needed to learn the offense. You said he was the worst player on defense. You said all of these things. And now, my brother, the old media that you follow, they have come to say that LaMelo is having the best rookie season that they have charted.
Oh, Rev.
Go ahead, brother.
Bro, I have to say this. I apologize, man. Guess what SP just said? He said, quote, Vernon Carey is very athletic, big body who could play both ways efficiently. He needs more minutes to develop his fundamentals. Fundamentals? Do you watch him play?
Man.
What the hell's going on?
Man, you lost me when you said the Hornets have done a good job, man. Stop playing, man. You got national media calling out the Hornets on their management of Lamelo Ball. Nothing about look, this kid is thriving in spite of this organization. We're not gonna do that. Shout out to my guy Unoriginal Truth that was reading that New York Times article on what the Charlotte Hornet coaches do and all of this. And you know what I'm saying? Bruh, if you look at LaMelo's offense, he is creating offense. They are not running sets for LaMelo. The only play that is ran for Melo, and a lot of times he has to call the big to do it, is the pick and roll. He's not getting no flare screens. He's not getting any shallow screens. He's not getting any curls. It's the same play with LaMelo each time. So he's surviving, thriving in spite of them. Also, I want to point something out for film study for all my real ones in the chat. When LaMelo shoots an isolation three and hits that shot for the last 15 games, I want y'all to go and look. Don't study LaMelo hitting the shot. Look at what Borrego does after LaMelo hits an isolation three. If he crosses over, goes between his legs, and hit a three, I have charted just about every time. Go and watch and see what James Borrego does. Because he doesn't want LaMelo playing that style of basketball. He wants him to play the way that he wants to play. So those points that he was getting against Washington, when coach kept on trying to throw off his rhythm, it was in spite of him. For those of you that don't want to look up the film, I'll give you the answer. I'll cheat for you. He takes him out of the game. Because we were wondering, why does he keep taking Melo out of the game after he hits threes? A lot of those threes are isolation threes. He doesn't want LaMelo playing that style of basketball. So if LaMelo is continuously doing it, he's doing it in spite of him.
Amen. The F man. Boy, this morning show, I did not expect the energy to be this high. But we got 240 plus in the chat. The energy is right. Make sure you hit the like button so we can stay here longer. Shout out to Aunt James again, Charlotte's own. He says, quote, the Hornets fans wanted anti-rookie bad rotational coach Clifford fired. The team replaced him with the exact copy with Borrego. We wanted Mark Jackson as the new coach. Boom.
Oh, my God. If y'all had Mark Jackson, good God.
Boy. If they had Mark Jackson. But they were like, no, DJ, Mark Jackson is an evil man. Mark Jackson is too religious. Man, I don't care if the coach is Buddhist, Christian, Muslim, atheist. I don't care. Can he coach the team? That's all I care about. Logic over emotion. Emotion is how these teams make bad decisions. Now, a couple shows ago, I did say I think James Wiseman one day could make an all-star, but he will always be compared to LaMelo. If Steve Kerr, which I believe went to the front office and told the front office, y'all better not get LaMelo Ball at all. Y'all better not get LaMelo Ball. So they acquiesced to Steve Kerr's demands and pick James Wiseman over LaMelo. That's what emotion gets you. You don't think straight. You're all in your feelings. You have a vendetta. Instead of separating the father from the kid, Steve Kerr was a beta male. And when you're a beta male, you can't think like an alpha. You got to be an alpha in that front office. You can't be like, oh, this kid has a record. This kid has loud parents. It doesn't matter. Can he play the game of basketball? That's all I care about. But yeah, shout out to Money Loyal Environment, new member of Nation United Media. To join, make sure you hit the join button next to the subscribe button. He says the last game, Borrego realized they can't win without Lamelo. That's why he don't mention Melo, because Melo is making him look stupid and his ego won't let him admit it. Preach.
Comment of the day, brother.
Yeah, that's the comment of the day. I may have to leave that there. Bro. Rev, what do you think about that comment? This brother, Money Loyal Entertainment, said MLE.
Hey, we got to start doing the comment of the day, brother. You got the comment of the day. We need to see some flowers in the chat, and we need to see some likes on the button. Take your shoes off when you come in the crib. Respect DJ's house. Respect New Media's hard work, and respect yourselves because you're a part of the family. Let's get the likes up. I'm going to read the comment one more time, brother, if you would allow me, because I got to let it sink in. And this is from Money Loyal Entertainment. Bro came in here with the your picture look like an old school No Limit cover. I see you, player. The last game, Borrego realized they can't win without Lamelo. That's why he didn't mention Melo, because Melo is making him look stupid and his ego won't let him admit it. Brother, that's the play. That's the play. That's the whole ever-loving point. I really think that some games Borrego sees Melo about to go for 40. Because I haven't really said it because I didn't feel like explaining myself. You know how many games I've seen Melo can have 40 this year? If they just let him play?
A bunch.
He probably could have 40-point games, DJ, for real.
Right.
So I think in some games he sees LaMelo going so crazy. He's like, if I continue to play this kid, it's going to make me obsolete. I'm going to lose control of the team, and it's going to be Melo's team. Like how everybody always jokes and talks about LeBron like it's a bad thing that it's his team. Now, LeBron's the GM. Yeah, he's the star player. He's supposed to be. What do you mean? He knows more about basketball. He's actually played the game. I trust LeBron more than I trust some guy in the office that, I'm not going to say that. I was about to go in. But, a guy that just trusts analytics. So Borrego's ego, and DJ, shout out to the brother again. He was the one that said this. He said Borrego is an egomaniac. He's a narcissist. And he knows that if Melo gets off, the reason he took him out that Memphis game, just like DJ said, Melo in the third quarter had 17 points. He probably would have ended that night with 26, 27, maybe 30. How you going to bring Devonte back into the starting lineup after that? It's taking Devonte acquiescing to LaMelo for Borrego to have to finally get to the point where he benches him. Because everyone with eyes can see that, just like DJ said, that backup, that backcourt of Terry Rozier and LaMelo Ball is a problem in the East. You sprinkle some Vernon Carey in there and Miles Bridges, man, look, you got a legitimate playoff team. I'm not saying they're going to win the East. That's insane. But at least they will be a respectable playoff team, at least a 7 or 6 seed.
I agree on that take, man. I agree. This is why building culture is the most important thing. They got to figure out who can they build around their number 3 overall pick. This is what good teams do with common sense. And nobody should be feeling mad or disappointed. You know what you signed up for when you lose. So the players on the roster that stuck with James Borrego, the Martin twins, Devonte, they have to realize that this is the game of the NBA. It's a what have you done for me lately business. And the last memory the fans have of the Hornets is them. They tried hard, but they didn't win enough. For that reason, LaMelo's the franchise player. And before you go around saying that, well, Devonte scored 18 points. He deserves all the minutes, like James Borrego would say. Before you say all that, this is LaMelo's team. Yeah, I know they paid Gordon Hayward $120 million.
Shouldn't have did it.
But this is LaMelo's team. Yeah, I said that. I don't care about the stats. All I know is that when LaMelo's a starter and when he's actually playing point guard, not when he's starting on a 3-guard lineup, LaMelo averages 23, 24 points per game. Look it up. So we got to get real with this Hornets situation. Everything they do from now on is for the betterment of the team and Lamelo Ball. And if there are some players who are jealous of LaMelo, who are not giving them the ball and being selfish, cut them or trade them. Look at the Dallas Mavericks. When Dennis Smith Jr. wouldn't acquiesce to Luka, Mark Cuban sent him to New York.
Got his ass out of there.
This is what you do when you build up your franchise players. That's exactly what you do. And that's the difference between a good owner like Mark Cuban, who has won a championship, and Jordan. Jordan may be the greatest basketball player of all time by most experts. But as an owner, he has yet to prove that he can create stability within his franchise. And you cannot create a winner by being cheap either. So these next 4 years are going to be very interesting. Don't forget LaMelo. Oh, what you said, bro?
No, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, Rev, remember the last time we was talking about LaMelo's contract being up in 4 years?
Yeah.
And folks would tell us that, oh, he's going to stay with the Hornets no matter what because most rookies try to get their bag. LaMelo's not the same. He got $100 million contract. So he has the option to opt out if the coach and the team does not do right by him.
Cyro last, I don't know if you came into the stream late, but you asked what's going on with Vernon Carey, what happened with Vernon Carey. Nothing. He's cooking. That's what happened. He's cooking. He's doing what DJ said he was going to do. He's cooking. Look, it's no need to try to reinvent the wheel, figure out the highest points of alchemy. This isn't rocket science. Bro, all the Charlotte Hornets have to do, starting now, is do what Sacramento did when they wanted to become relevant in one of the hardest Western conferences in the history of history. You know, I know people think about the years of White Chocolate and Chris Webber and Doug Christie and Peja Stojakovic and Hito Circulu and think that this was just a team that was always good. When I was growing up, the Sacramento Kings were cheeks. They were not a good team. What happened, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, and this is why when special players come along, DJ's right. You don't fight against the tide. You don't fight against the tide. You innovate. Because when you're dealing with systems work according to the numbers and they work according to what the system is used to processing. When you throw a virus into a system, it takes years for the system to catch up to that virus. Jason Williams was a catalyst for the Sacramento Kings. The West wasn't used to dealing with that style of basketball. So what they did was they surrounded Jason Williams and Chris Webber, who was their rim runner and power forward. They surrounded those guys with a bunch of foreign shooters that can shoot the ball. They also gave them athletic wings that could defend. That's all you have to do with Melo. This ain't rocket science. Let the boy get up and down the court. Let it become showtime. That's all you have to do. Move the hell out the way. Build a team the same way the Sacramento Kings were built. Now, the Sacramento Kings, to me, in my estimation, they made a mistake. Because what they tried to do, because white chocolate was so unorthodox, they tried to become more traditional in the West. So they went and traded him for Mike Bibby, and he ended up going to the Grizzlies. And Mike Bibby hit a lot of big shots, and Mike Bibby was a calming force in the offense, but you were never going to beat the Lakers or the Spurs or any of those teams trying to be like them because you don't have a Shaq or a Kobe. Charlotte cannot make that same mistake. The thing I love about Dallas, DJ, they let Luka be Luka, bro. They let Luka be Luka. They don't get in the way. It doesn't matter if Luka's shooting 26% from three. I saw Mark Cuban go off on somebody just last week, a reporter, for talking bad about Luka. Because he understands Luka is the most valuable asset in that entire franchise. So no, you're not about to make the bag feel like this is leaking from the organization. That's what good owners do. I digress, brother.
Absolutely. I'm going to read some of these comments. Before I read the comments, we had somebody on the chats who usually don't come on the show saying, I thought this was an exposed video. Yes, it is. Vernon Carey is exposing the coaches with his play. So that's what it is. Like we said in the beginning of the show, his play is exposing everything the coaches are saying. His play. The points, the rebounds, the things that the Hornets are missing, Vernon Carey has it. That's what's going on. So Vernon Carey doing what he does, having 25 a game in the G League, shows you enough that he's ready to play in the NBA. He's been ready to play. It's just that the Hornets didn't want to give him a chance. To be honest, one of those twins, probably both of them, need to be in the G League. And don't tell me that the Twins play defense. That shadow defense they play, that's what I call fake defense. You're moving around all crazy, but you're still getting cooked. Rev, you've seen a lot of guards like this. They're out here slapping the ground on the floor, acting like they're about to play some defense, and they running very fast, and they still giving up 40 to 50 apiece.
Facts.
Like, for real. Let me read some of these comments. Uncle Rico says that 40-piece bucket is coming. Oh, yeah, LaMelo's getting that. S.A. the King says, will Lane James call him back up and give him minutes, or will Lane keep pushing Lurch? Lane will keep he's going to keep pushing Lurch because that's his guys.
Yep. DJ's right. Eventually, you're going to see him come back in, probably mid-season, and they'll give him some minutes. And he's a rookie, so he might have some bad moments, and they're going to hold it against him. They're going to slow walk him because they're trying to appease Lurch, as Coach Joe would say. This is what they do. Jalen McDaniels, he is scheduled to play tonight. I want to see what kind of minutes he gets. I want to see if they're actually going to utilize the guy. I want to see if they're going to sit him down for making a couple bad turnovers. I want to see them actually, because all I hear about is, oh, Charlotte does a great job with developing, and Coach Rago's a good coach. I need to see it. I need to see something that makes me say, okay, damn, they really developing this guy. I don't need to see somebody get a turnover and go to the bench. It's the NBA, man. I saw a statistic the other night for everybody that harps on LaMelo that said LeBron James has just become the number one player in the history of the NBA as far as turnovers. He's a home run hitter. If you know anything about baseball, a lot of home run hitters, they strike out a lot. But when they hit that grand slam to win the World Series, I don't think you care about that strikeout anymore.
Taufik says the Spurs might cook the Hornets tonight. Yep. Greg Popovich knows everything about James Borrego. He knows his tendencies. He knows his lineups. He knows his game plans. This will not be an easy game at all. And they will game plan against Lamelo. They're gonna play soft on Devonte Graham. They're gonna be like this. They don't care how many points Devonte Graham scores. They just don't want Lamelo doing it. Yeah, I said it. A game within a game. Just watch. Watch how they play Lamelo versus how they play everybody else. The game within the game is so revealing. When folks realize the game and they know it's another layer to it, they just get shocked by the realities they see. And I'm just not warning you guys, but letting you know before the game starts tonight that do not be surprised what type of odd stuff happens. I predicted this on the schedule. When I saw the Spurs come up, I said, oh, this will be an interesting game. Jay Hood says every time. Yep. Every single time. Jay Hood said he gets going, they sit him down every time. What you said, Rev?
I was about to read this comment from SP. SP says Vernon Carey Jr. is not that good. You haven't seen him play one NBA game, man, with substantial minutes. So I don't think it's fair to say if the kid is good or not. You know what I'm saying? And as far as this Cody is highly underrated, put him on the trade block and see who wants him. The Shanghai Titans ain't gonna call about Cody Zeller. Believe that. But to talk about the game a little bit, since you kind of previewed it, DJ, I'm expecting Pop to come out with his defense on Melo, trap on the corners, sag on the three. Because, Popovich is always the guy that's going to play the numbers. And that's the same thing that he did with LeBron James. He made LeBron prove to him that he can shoot. But be careful with Lamelo Ball. Because if it's a hot night and you sagging, he might put up 30 on you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this is going to be up to the shooting touch of LaMelo tonight. The Spurs try to slow you down. They want to slow you down. A lot of NBA coaches take the mentality, okay, they want us to play slower, so we're going to play slower. We're not going to play fast and commit turnovers. That's not my ideology. Whatever you're trying to do best or trying to take away from me, I'm going to impose my will on you and show you that we're going to do it. Because you don't want to get into a half-court game with the mini-me guards that you got out there playing against the Spurs, athletic guys like DeJounte Murray and others. I mean, guards like DeJounte Murray's and others. So you don't want to see that. They need to get up and down the court. DJ, I'm so excited about this stream tonight, man. Because like you said, man, it's going to be, and like Wealth Engineering was saying in the chat, it's going to be a battle of the narcissists.
The battle of the narcissists. Who can F someone more than the other? Who can screw the minutes, politic around more than the other coach? That's what you will be seeing tonight. And Greg Popovich will be like, wow, my protege loves him some Devonte Graham. Okay, let's sag off more on Graham. He could take whatever shots he wants. But LaMelo, he's the energized booster. He's the one that gets everybody going. Let's double team him. Let's trap him. We're going to make his night a living hell. That's what Greg Popovich is going to do. I seen him do it to LeBron. He didn't care what Mo Williams did. He didn't care. There was a game in the finals. Mo Williams had like 35, but the Spurs won. Because
that's heavy.
They tried to shut down everything LeBron did. I'm preparing you guys what tonight could be. If LaMelo has even 20 points tonight, that would be amazing.
Facts. Go ahead,
DeJounte
cook. DJ, go ahead, cook, brother.
DeJounte Murray is one of the best defenders in the NBA. And then they got Lonnie Walker, who's also a great defender. Then they got Derek White, who's also a great defender. They're going to throw everything at LaMelo. If he gets 20, oh my God, the respect that I already have for Lamelo Ball would be even more. Somebody said MK Ultra Pro versus clone Lane James. Pretty much.
And the saddest thing about this, DJ, and I see what play you're preparing us for. Borrego will justify him taking LaMelo out if LaMelo's not scoring because Popovich is the Popovich way of coaching. He was going to take him out of the game. So because of the game flow, I just don't think LaMelo was ready for reading that kind of game scheme. So we had to go with more experienced guards. So his own coach ain't got his back. So he playing against two coaches tonight.
Not many rookies can deal with what LaMelo's dealing with. When your coach is not for you, it's very tough for most young players. But I think JJ and LeVar for instilling that dog in LaMelo. LaMelo is not surprised by anything. He's not surprised. And shout out to Zach Smith for the $4.99 super chat. He says, reason why Carey, McDaniels, etc. are not playing is because JB and management got no control over them yet, like tay-bay, Twins, Zeller, and the Twins just without new media. Exactly. They're not conformed, quote unquote, into the James Borrego way. There was a video I saw, it was an interview a while back. It was when LaMelo had like 20 plus points. And the interview said, yeah, those 20 plus points were needed. And you could see in James Borrego's face, he was like, yeah, that was good, but there were some times. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, James Borrego? Your rookie helped you guys get a win. He had 20 plus points. A lot of coaches would be like, man, we won't win this game. We wouldn't have won this game without those 20 plus points. Even though LaMelo's young, he's very important to our franchise. Why can't James Borrego say that? Why? Is he mad because LaMelo has proven a point that no matter what they throw at him, he's still tall, he's still strong, he never folds? Is that the reason why? Rev, I don't get this coach, man. The ego is so toxic with him. But they think that we're hating on a coach for pointing out the facts.
If we are hating for pointing out the facts, then I guess the world is starting to hate because everyone is saying this. Everyone is starting to see what we've been saying since night one. There's nothing to hate on when you see a kid sauce up one of the top defenders in the league at their position and step back and hit a three on them. And the coach says, get him out of the game. That makes no sense. The word heat check exists for a reason. People say heat check because it's to see if your temperature is still high and you're still hitting shots. Because if those shots are being hit, then you continue to ride that player. Borrego comes from that pot tree, so that's not how they do things. That's a lie. The other night, when Terry Rozier got going, they played him extended minutes in the third quarter, and they kept running plays for him back to back to back to back. If Devonte Graham hits 3 out of 5 threes in a quarter or 3 out of 5 shots in a quarter, they're going to start going to Devonte Graham. Same thing with Gordon Hayward. The only player they don't do that with, and when the ball goes through the net, DJ, the ball doesn't fall to the floor and say, I'm not going to land because it's a rookie. No, the shot was still made. The basket still counts. So when your rookie has 7 threes in a night, and the next night he comes out in Memphis, and you're taking him out in the third quarter, something's not right here. The way LaMelo came out against Memphis was so hot. If you would have rolled him, he would have took you to victory. But for some reason, it's not for some reason. It's exactly what you said. Borrego does not want to lose the credit for that team. And he knows once LaMelo starts getting off, he's expendable, man.
Before we end the show, tune into our live stream of the Spurs versus the Hornets. And this is what I call the game within the game matchup. You will start seeing things that we've been talking about for the longest on the show. The politicking, the odd lineups. And I'm glad this is happening because you can see it yourself. For those who have a trained eye, by the way. But I tell you one thing. If LaMelo does not have 30-plus minutes in being utilized, we're going to be even more justified than we already were. But what do we know? We're just fans. It's not like we know it. It's not like, I was only right about most of the season, right, Rev?
100% facts.
Yeah, it's not like I know anything, man. But yeah, we're gonna start cooking, man. The show is going to be at 3:50. It starts at 3:50 Pacific time, 6:50 Eastern.
Y'all clear your schedules, man. Y'all pull up to the show tonight. The stream tonight is gonna be live. It's gonna be lit. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be the cookout, man. DJ, I'm excited. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to study the game within the game tonight, man.
Exactly, man. Rev ain't holding back. And peace and love to all the brothers and sisters in the chat. New Media Nation United is a family. We're trying to grow this thing the right way. And thank you. That's all I can say. And see y'all at the cookout when the Hornets play the Spurs. Peace.